Laparoscopy is found to be beneficial. Drain tubes are commonly placed after laparotomy in acute peritonitis even though its use is controversial. Multiple catheters can be placed into the abdominal cavity before closure of the abdominal wound to facilitate continuous post-operative lavage. Lavage is done using 3 to 4 liters of normal saline with heparin solution as 3 hours cycles for 3 days. It reduces the post-operative abscess formation and mortality rate. Valentino syndrome. Patient with perforated duodenal ulcer into the retroperitoneum presenting as right iliac fossa pain mimicking appendicitis. Rudolph Valentino, a famous French-American actor in 1926, at the age of 31 years, died of perforated duodenal ulcer presenting as right lower quadrant pain. He presented with the signs and symptoms of acute appendicitis in New York City. He had an appendicectomy but later developed peritonitis, multi-organ failure and died. Autopsy revealed that he had a perforated gastric ulcer which was the cause for peritonitis. Terminal features in peritonitis: Hippocratic facies, bright, hollow eyes, pale, pinched face, cold perspiration in eyebrows, dry, fissured tongue, blue lips. Patient will be in severe shock. It signifies terminal status with high mortality rate. It is a typical facial sign of severe end-stage peritonitis. Fig. 9. Septic shock, cold stage, systemic inflammatory response syndrome, SIRS, multi-organ dysfunction syndrome, MODS. Complications and sequelae of peritonitis and after surgery. Systemic XX septicemia, ARDS, renal failure, DIC, SIRS, MODS, life-threatening. XX respiratory infection, bronchopneumonia, pleural effusion, empyema. XX electrolyte imbalance, metabolic problems, DVT abdominal XX burst abdomen, abdominal wound dehiscence, biliary, gastric, enteric, pancreatic, fecal fistula formation. XX formation of pelvic, subphrenic, intra-abdominal abscesses, portal pemia. XX surgical site infection, poor wound healing XX tertiary peritonitis XX abdominal compartment syndrome, AX, XX paralytic ileus, adhesive obstruction XX incisional hernia. Spontaneous bacterial peritonitis. Spontaneous bacterial peritonitis, SBP, is defined as bacterial infection of ascitic fluid in the absence of an intra-abdominal surgically treatable source of infection. It is seen in infants and children commonly. In nephrotic syndrome, in adults, with cirrhosis, most common cause. In cirrhotic patients, there is low FCG receptor on macrophage surface causing poor phagocytosis. Opsonic action of peritoneal surface cells in presence of ascites is low causing poor control of bacterial load. In patients who has undergone splenectomy, patients with ascites due to any cause, malnutrition and malignancy, causative organisms 3/4. Scoring of the severity gram-negative bacilli, 70%, A. coli, Klebsiella. Gram-positive cocci, 20%, pneumococci, streptococci and enterococci. Anaerobes, 10%. In girls it is commonly through fallopian tubes. In males it is always bloodborne from respiratory tract infection or otitis media. Features. Features of peritonitis but initially with dull aching pain. Features of shock. Common in girls. High fever with neutrophilia is characteristic. Profuse diarrhea is common. Features relevant of cause. Total count, LFT, US is useful tool. SBP is rare in ascites with high protein content like in peritoneal carcinomatosis. More than 250 neutrophils, QMM3 of ascitic fluid are diagnostic. Note, Fig. 9. Scoring of the severity of the peritonitis is done based on age, sex, duration, cause, origin, content, general condition, hematocrit, electrolytes, O2 saturation, blood urea, serum creatinine. 1. Mannheim Peritonitis Index. 2. Acute Physiology and Chronic Health Evaluation Score, Apache Score. Management 3/4. Usually conservative with proper higher generation antibiotics. But condition has got high mortality. Tapping of the purulent fluid from the peritoneal cavity is done only in atypical needed cases. Laparoscopy is useful method. Often peritoneal purulent fluid tube drainage may be beneficial. Laparotomy and peritoneal wash is done occasionally if secondary peritonitis and toxicity develops. Plasma albumin is helpful in SBP with cirrhosis to reduce hepatorenal syndrome and to decrease mortality. Note: exudate in pneumococcal peritonitis is odorless, turbid and sticky. Exudate in streptococcal peritonitis is odorless, thin, blood-stained with flecks of fibrin. Greenish watery diarrhea is common. It is common in infants and children. Upper respiratory tract infections, tonsillitis, pharyngitis are the causes. It is treated with penicillins, amoxicillins, cephalosporins. Staphylococcus aureus peritonitis is common in those who use intravaginal tampons, causing toxic shock syndrome and DIC. Sclerosing peritonitis. It is usually practilol, beta blocker, induced peritonitis. It is fibrinous peritonitis causing thickening of bowel and other contents of abdomen. It leads to intestinal obstruction and malnutrition. Biliary peritonitis. Causes: trauma, idiopathic, post-operative leak after surgery for gallbladder, CBD, duodenum, ERCP, pyloroplasty, post-gastrectomy duodenal stump leak, blowout, leak from choledocojejunal anastomosis. Perforation of gallbladder or CBD. Gangrenous cholecystitis and rupture. Leakage from accessory bile duct after surgery. Leakage from displaced T-tube or displaced percutaneous stent. Features of peritonitis: abdominal distension, guarding and rigidity. Jaundice. It may be due to CBD injury, liver biliary ductile injury, sectorial duct injury, cystic duct leak or by absorption of bile from free peritoneal cavity. Toxicity. Features of shock. Investigations: X-ray abdomen, diagnostic peritoneal lavage. Treatment: laparotomy, wash, drainage. Cause to be treated: US guided percutaneous drainage, ERCP stenting, duodenal stump exploration, wash and drainage or jejunal serosal patch over it, ligation of cystic or accessory duct, choledoco, hepaticojejunostomy, etc., depending on cause. It has got high mortality. It may get localized and form abscess or may lead into biliary fistula. Postoperative peritonitis: it is the development of peritonitis in post-operative period, either due to anastomotic leak or biliary leak, and there is collection of pus in the peritoneal cavity including interloop areas. It is often difficult to differentiate it from post-operative urinary infection, respiratory infection like bronchopneumonia, cardiac causes in old people, and infection in other areas like intravenous cannula site thrombophlebitis. Symptoms may mask if patient is on steroid therapy. In all abdominal surgeries, patient initially develops paralytic ileus which lasts for 3 to 5 days. If it persists or progresses, one should suspect post-operative peritonitis. Other suspicious features are persisting tauchemia in spite of antibiotics, oliguria, pyrexia, altered liver functions, altered total WBC count, very high as well as very low, and neutrophil count is more specific, and increasing leak from drain site either fecal, intestinal, biliary, increase in abdominal distension, pain and tenderness. Leak may be due to sepsis, hypotension in pre, and post-operative period, hypoxia, blood loss, ischemia of bowel and friability of bowel wall, and specific causes like tuberculosis, malignancy or Crohn's disease. Often multiple areas of the bowel become necrotic, which eventually causes leak. Leak from multiple sites is difficult to manage and has got poor prognosis. Management: immediate US or CT abdomen to find out the abdominal cause, total count, assessment of urinary parameters like blood urea and serum creatinine, liver function tests. Immediate exploration is the only way to save the life of the patient. Proper exploration with wide exposure of the abdomen is done to identify the cause for infection. Resuturing of the anastomotic site can be done, but chances of re-leak are more likely. It can be done if leak site is small and less friable. Otherwise, either ileostomy or colostomy is the better choice. Often continuous tube irrigation and drainage is needed to clear the infective material. Laparostomy using zip technique is also beneficial. Multiple cavities with multiple abscesses are often found, which should be drained and irrigated adequately with normal saline. Extensive bowel necrosis is the finding often observed, which needs massive bowel resection that leads to short bowel syndrome, which is difficult to manage on long-term basis. Higher antibiotics like piperacillin, meropenem are required. Ventilator support, total parenteral nutrition, TPN, hemodialysis support and critical care management is required. Postoperative peritonitis has got high mortality and morbidity. Other forms of peritonitis: 1. Meconium peritonitis. 2. Chronic bacterial peritonitis, tuberculous. 3. Chronic non-bacterial peritonitis, granulomatous peritonitis due to talc or starch, from surgical gloves, starch peritonitis. 4. Gonococcal peritonitis with perihepatitis, Curtis-Fitzhugh syndrome. 5. Familial periodic peritonitis, familial Mediterranean fever, a rare entity, gets recurrent pain abdomen often after appendicectomy. It is familial, common in Arabs, Americans and Jewish populations. It is common in children, common in females, associated with MEFV gene mutation. Specific gene produces a protein, pyrin, from neutrophils in these patients. Peritoneum adjacent to spleen and gallbladder are inflamed. But these two organs are normal. It is common in children and common in girls, females. Pain is usually in upper quadrant, left side. There is localized peritoneal inflammation. It is treated conservatively using colchicines. Parturition, abortion peritonitis. It occurs after delivery and abortion conducted without asepsis and instrumentation, incomplete instrumental abortion, uterine perforation with or without bowel injury. It causes pelvic peritonitis commonly, generalized peritonitis often. It is due to anaerobic bacteria, anaerobic streptococci, and gram-negative bacteria like Escherichia coli. It is often rapidly progressive, causing septic shock. It needs emergency surgery. Complications are ARDS, intestinal obstruction, fecal fistula and intraperitoneal abscess formation. Pelvic abscess. It is the most common intraperitoneal abscess, 50 to 60%. It is the collection of pus in rectovesical or rectouterine pouch of Douglas. Causes: appendicitis, pelvic infections, sequelae of diffuse peritonitis, postoperative and other abdominal causes. Bacteria: Bacteroides fragilis, E. coli, anaerobic streptococci. Features: diarrhea, mucus discharge per rectum, high temperature with chills and rigors, lower abdominal pain and distension, frequency and burning micturition. PR shows a soft, boggy, and tender swelling in the anterior wall of the rectum. Investigations: TC is raised, ultrasound is diagnostic, shows pus in rectovesical or pouch of Douglas, CT scan to find out the size and extent. Treatment: after starting antibiotics, under GA, Abscess is drained per rectally, through the boggy area. Catheter is passed to the bladder before draining the pus. In females, posterior colpotomy is done to drain the pus. Occasionally spontaneous rupture of the abscess into the rectum occurs, leading to natural regression. Rarely, when abscess is very large, when it is progressing into the general peritoneal cavity, or when in doubt, laparotomy through lower abdomen incision is done to drain the pus and to correct the cause. Often in such cases, drainage tube can be placed through the abdomen under US guidance. CT or US guided insertion of drainage tube into the abscess cavity per rectally or per vaginally or percutaneously. But most often laparotomy is not necessary. Subphrenic spaces and subphrenic abscess. Surgical anatomy, by Boyd. There are 4 intraperitoneal and 3 extraperitoneal spaces. Intraperitoneal spaces. Fig. 9.1. Right anterior intraperitoneal space, right subphrenic space, it is bounded by right lobe of the liver and diaphragm, posteriorly by anterior layer of coronary and right triangular ligament, and to the left by falciform ligament. Causes: abscess here occurs due to cholecystitis, perforated duodenal ulcer, postoperative, appendicitis, duodenal cap blow. Right posterior intraperitoneal space, right subhepatic space, Rutherford-Morrison's kidney pouch, is bounded in front by the liver and gallbladder, above by the liver, behind by the right kidney and diaphragm, below by the transverse colon and hepatic flexure, to the left by foramen of Winslow and duodenum. It is large and deepest space of all. It is the most common site of subphrenic abscess. Causes: appendicitis, cholecystitis, postoperative, perforated duodenal ulcer, intestinal obstruction. Left anterior intraperitoneal space, left subphrenic space, it is bounded above by the diaphragm, behind by left lobe of liver and left triangular ligament, gastrohepatic ligament and anterior surface of the stomach, to the right is the falciform ligament. Causes for abscess here are surgeries of the stomach, tail of the pancreas, spleen, colon, splenic flexure, diverticulitis. Left posterior intraperitoneal space, it is bounded by stomach, pancreas, greater omentum, liver, transverse colon, lesser sac. Most common cause here is pseudocyst of pancreas. Rarely perforated gastric ulcer. Extraperitoneal spaces, right extraperitoneal space is right perinephric space and left extraperitoneal space is left perinephric space. Causes: abscess here are due to tuberculosis, trauma, hematoma. Midline extraperitoneal is bare area of the liver. Pus collects here commonly due to ruptured amoebic liver abscess and pyogenic abscess of the liver. Pathology of subphrenic abscess. During expiration, intra-abdominal pressure, especially in subphrenic area, is reduced, and so this with capillary action and upward movement of the diaphragm make the peritoneal fluid to move upwards towards the diaphragm. This is the reason why there is higher incidence of subphrenic abscess, and subphrenic abscess is the second most common type of intra-abdominal abscess, first one being the pelvic abscess. Fig. 9. Subphrenic abscess is more common on the right side than on left anterior, because infective conditions are more common on the right side, like appendicitis, perforation, liver abscess, cholecystitis, and right pericolic gutter is wide and deep without any barrier, unlike left side pericolic gutter which is narrow and limited above by colophrenic ligament. Left posterior space is lesser sac in which infected fluid commonly collects following pancreatitis. Right subphrenic abscess causes elevation of the diaphragm. Pus collects in front or posterior aspect of the liver, right anterior or right posterior spaces, or often in both. Pus may be in a single cavity or may be multiloculated. Occasionally pus may get thickened to form a thick fibrous wall around, leading into a chronic stage which causes generalized ill health. Pus gets well localized with a thick pyogenic membrane pushing pleura away and above and peritoneum away and below, making subphrenic abscess essentially extraserosal. Because of the congestion, hyperemia of the pleura and elevation of the diaphragm, there will be sympathetic pleural effusion on the side of the abscess. In severe acute subphrenic abscess, empyema can also occur. If infective organism is gas-forming one, abscess will contain pus with gas. So it is resonant above the liver dullness, dull above it due to collapsed lung, atelectasis, then again resonant on topmost due to normal lung, from below upwards, dull liver, resonant gas in abscess cavity, dull collapsed lung, resonant normal lung topmost. But it is rare presently. Postoperative surgeries, mainly of gastric, biliary, colonic and emergency surgeries, peritonitis, are becoming most common cause of the subphrenic abscess. Bacteria causing E. coli, Klebsiella, Streptococci, anaerobic organisms. Features: Barnard's aphorism, Harold Barnard, pus somewhere, pus nowhere else, pus under diaphragm. Fig. 9.19, common. History relevant of the specific causes. History of any previous surgery, fever with chills and rigors. Pain in right hypochondrium, epigastrium or lower thorax. Tenderness in right hypochondrium. Sympathetic right-sided pleural effusion due to congestion and hyperemia of the diaphragm. Collapse of the lung, basal atelectasis, right side may be evident. Tachypnea and respiratory distress can be observed. Pain in the right shoulder due to irritation of phrenic nerve. Hiccup, tachycardia, Hoover's sign, scoliosis towards same side in subphrenic abscess. Wasting and anorexia is common. Occasionally tender mass in the right hypochondrium may be palpable. Tenderness over 11th intercostal space may be evident in right subhepatic space abscess. Differential diagnosis: amoebic liver abscess, pilophlebitis, empyema, pulmonary collapse. Note: Volkmann-Walters syndrome. It is postcholecystectomy fluid collection in subphrenic space causing compression over IVC. It mimics coronary thrombosis. Investigations: plain X-ray chest and abdomen shows soft tissue shadow, pleural effusion, tenting of diaphragm, collapse of the lung. Fluoroscopy shows elevated right diaphragm with reduced right-sided diaphragmatic movement. U.S. abdomen confirms the diagnosis. TC is high. There is raise in C. reactive protein. CT scan is very useful, most accurate, to find out the extent and relation. CT shows rind, sharp outer margin, septations, size, shape, extent, diaphragmatic position, pleural changes, displaced bowel and other organs and communications. Gallium-67 or iridium-111 isotope imaging. Treatment: antibiotics, ampicillin, metronidazole, gentamicin, cephalosporins. Percutaneous drainage. Initially ultrasound-guided aspiration is useful. Here, under ultrasound or CT guidance, a catheter is placed in pulses. Drained. Catheters used are pigtail catheter, 16 French trocar catheter or sump catheter. 90% of subphrenic abscess are drained percutaneously. B catheters used for drainage are XX Malakot's catheter, wide Foley's catheter when open drainage is done. XX pigtail catheter, XX catheter placement through trocar under guidance, 16 French trocar catheter. XX sump catheter, double lumen tube which allows irrigation as well as suction drainage. Note: catheter is removed when pus drainage from the tube is less than 10 ml per day. Normal total count, improvement in symptoms, US shows clearance of abscess cavity. Note: aspiration alone is not done in subphrenic abscess. Open drainage, required in 10 to 20% of cases. Indications: XX when symptoms persist, XX when abscess increases in size, XX when there is thick pus or multiloculated pus or multiple abscesses. XX failure of. Contraindications for catheter drainage: XX multiple abscesses, XX presence of foreign body, necrosis, hematoma, obstruction, fistula. 3. Under G, A through anterior or posterior subcostal incision, abscess is approached extraperitoneally and extrapilarally, extraserosally, so as to prevent serosal contamination. Pyogenic membrane is opened, pus is collected for culture sensitivity. Pus is drained by breaking or loculi. Malacot's catheter is placed in situ. Both anterior and posterior extraperitoneal approaches are used. Posterior approach allows dependent drainage. Anterior approach, Clement approach for left side, is technically easier and allows proper access. Transperitoneal approach is needed whenever definitive procedure has to be undertaken, like managing the existing fistula, treating the cause, removal of foreign body, multiple abscesses, active intra-abdominal pathology, etc. Antibiotics are continued. Malacot's catheter is removed once pus stops draining, usually after 14 days, which can also be confirmed by US abdomen or by X-ray with injection of dye. Good nutritional supplement, respiratory physiotherapy are additional support required. B. Complications: XX empyema, XX respiratory arrest, XX septicemia, XX sinus formation, XX recurrence, XX peritonitis. Mesenteric cysts causes: 1. Chylololymphatic. 2. Enterogenous. 3. Cysts of urogenital remnant. 4. Teratomatous dermoid cysts. 5. Other causes. 3/4. It presents as a painless abdominal swelling. Traumatic hematoma and cyst formation. Tuberculous cold abscess of mesentery. Hydatid cyst of mesentery. Chylololymphatic cysts are the most common one. It arises from congenitally misplaced lymphatic system. It does not have efferent communication into lymphatic system. Common in ileum, is a thin-walled cyst with flat endothelium occasionally containing lymph or chyle, which is either milky or cream-colored. It is solitary and commonly anelocular, with loop of the bowel in front. It has got independent blood supply, i.e. not from the adjacent bowel loop. So enucleation can be done without resecting bowel. They are often called as non-neoplastic mesothelial cysts as it is lined by mesothelium. It is common in small bowel mesentery, 60%, but can occur in colonic mesentery, 40%. It occasionally may contain chyle even though serous fluid is the common content. It is common in females. Cyst is enucleated surgically. Standard therapy, aspiration should not be done. In a large cyst, internal drainage of cyst into the peritoneal cavity is advocated by few. Cyst wall should be sent for histology to rule out neoplastic condition. Enterogenous type, it arises as a diverticulum or duplication from the adjacent bowel. Hence it is a thick-walled cyst, contains all layers of the bowel, and receives its blood supply from the adjacent bowel, not independent. So resection of the adjacent bowel along with the cyst is essential. Enucleation is contraindicated. Features: Fig. 9. It presents as a painless abdominal swelling in umbilical region, smooth, fluctuant, not moving with respiration. It is common in second decade, often in childhood. It is freely mobile in the direction perpendicular to the line of mesentery. There is a band of resonance in front of the cyst. Presentation is complications. Tillotson triad. XX soft, Smooth swelling in the umbilical region XX freely mobile in a direction perpendicular to mesentery XX zone of resonance all around. Complications of mesenteric cysts. XX torsion of cyst can lead to volvulus of the adjacent bowel XX rupture of the cyst XX hemorrhage into the cyst XX infection, patient presents with acute painful swelling in umbilical region. Investigations. US abdomen, barium meal X-ray, plain X-ray abdomen, CT scan of the abdomen is diagnostic. Differential diagnosis, hydronephrosis, omentous cysts, tuberculosis, ovarian cyst. Treatment 3/4. In chylomlymphatic cyst, enucleation. 3/4. In enterogenous type, removal of the cyst with resection of adjacent bowel is done, because blood supply is from adjacent bowel. Mesenteric PANNICULITIS. It is an inflammatory disease of mesentery with mesenteric fat necrosis, acute, chronic inflammation and fibrosis. Enormous thickening of the mesentery near its root with multiple discrete nodules are typical. Venous and lymphatic obstruction of mesentery develops, causing bowel edema, congestion and ischemia. It is a rare benign inflammation, fibrosis of bowel mesentery. It is often seen in Weber-Christian disease, mesenteric lipodystrophy or lipogranuloma. It commonly involves small bowel mesentery, but can involve colonic mesentery also. Spontaneous resolution is known to occur. It is common in middle-aged men. Recurrent abdominal pain, features of obstruction, distension of abdomen, tender resonant mass abdomen are the features. ESR and CRP is elevated. CT is useful with features like pseudocapsule with well-delineated fat margin, normal adipose tissue surrounding the mesenteric vessels, fat ring sign, no vascular deviation, intra-abdominal mass displacing bowel without infiltration. Laparoscopic biopsy of mesentery is conclusive. Differential diagnoses are peritoneal carcinomatosis, carcinoid tumor, mesenteric or retroperitoneal sarcoma, mesenteric tuberculosis and intestinal obstruction. Treatment. Usually conservative using corticosteroids and immunosuppressive drugs. Laparotomy is done only when diagnosis is in doubt or intestinal obstruction is suspected. Note, Mishti mesentery, it is radiological finding seen in MDCT abdomen wherein there is pathological increase in mesenteric fat attenuation. Causes are mesenteric edema, due to hypoalbuminemia, cirrhosis, renal causes, cardiac causes, mesenteric vein, arterial thrombosis, IVC thrombosis, pancreatitis, hemorrhage, trauma, neoplasia, lymphoma, NHL, and abdominal tuberculosis, mesenteric. Acute mesenteric LYMPHADENITIS. It is non-specific acute inflammation of the mesenteric lymph nodes, Nurse's syndrome, usually due to Yersinia enterocolitica. Infection. Often in 30% of cases respiratory infection will be present. Occasionally virus, parasite, fungal infections may also be the cause. Other regional lymph nodes, axilla, groin, neck, are also often involved and enlarged. Mesenteric nodes in ileocecal region are inflamed, enlarged often clinically palpable in right iliac fossa. Lymph nodes are red but not attached to mesenteric leaves or peritoneum. Appendix is normal. It is self-limiting recurrent disease. It is common in children and young females. Pain in right iliac fossa, slight fever, vomiting, abdominal colicky, but normal bowel habits, tender nodes may be palpable in RIF. Leukocytosis is common but regresses rapidly. US abdomen will be normal. Condition often mimics acute appendicitis. Treatment, bed rest, reassurance, analgesics, follow-up. Laparoscopy and appendicectomy is often needed to diagnose and to prevent missed appendicitis. Mesenteric malignancy. The most common mesenteric malignancy is secondaries. GE adenocarcinoma is the most common site of origin. Carcinoid also can cause mesenteric metastasis. Mesentery is involved by either direct spread or through lymphatics a transperitoneal route. Distortion, fixation, desmoplastic reaction with intestinal obstruction are the features. Mesenteric desmoid tumor. It is the most common primary tumor of mesentery. It is common in familial adenomatous polyposis and Gardner's syndrome. FAP shows 75% intra-abdominal desmoid with 75% of them in mesentery. Mesenteric desmoid is aggressive tumor causing infiltration of adjacent structures. Complications are intestinal obstruction, bowel necrosis and perforation, hydronephrosis, aortic erosion and bleeding. 10-year survival rate is 65%. But recurrence rate is also high, 75%. Investigations: CT abdomen, laparoscopy and biopsy, colonoscopy in case of FAP, to look for other features of Gardner's syndrome. Treatment: even though surgery is the treatment, in view of high recurrence rate and inability to clear tumor surgically, drug therapy is becoming popular many times. Drugs used are sulindac, antiestrogen drugs. Imatinib mesylate orally, inhibits tyrosine kinase receptor for PDGF and c-KIT. Mesenteric lymphoma. It is also not uncommon as mesenteric fold contains plenty of lymph nodes. It is commonly NHL type. Other regional lymph nodes like of para-aortic, axillary, neck region may be enlarged. Liver and spine may be involved. CT abdomen, peripheral smear, laparoscopy and node biopsy, CT chest, bone marrow biopsy are investigations done. Treatment is usually chemotherapy. Mesenteric trauma. Mesenteric injury is commonly seen in blunt abdominal trauma. Traction injury or seat belt injury causes mesenteric tear. Penetrating injury can also cause mesenteric injury. Features of hemoperitoneum: shock, pallor, abdominal distension and pain, guarding and rigidity. Types. Transverse tear in mesentery causes not only more bleeding but also causes adjacent bowel ischemia. So laparotomy and resection of bowel is needed. Longitudinal tear can be sutured using interrupted absorbable sutures, Vicryl, after hemostasis. Investigations. Ultrasound abdomen. Diagnostic peritoneal lavage. CT abdomen. Always evaluate for associated injuries, fractures, thoracic and head injuries. Always evaluate for associated injuries, fractures, thoracic and head injuries. Hematocrit, electrolyte estimation, blood grouping. Treatment. Emergency laparotomy and resection of bowel or suturing of the mesentery. Peritoneal malignancy. The most common peritoneal malignancy is secondaries. Primaries causing peritoneal secondaries are GIT, stomach, colon, pancreas, small bowel, liver, lower esophagus, genitourinary, ovarian tumor commonly, extra-abdominal, breast. Peritoneal carcinomatosis is diffuse metastatic deposits all over parietal and visceral peritoneum. Primary peritoneal malignancy. The most common is malignant mesothelioma. Sarcomas are rare type. Malignant peritoneal mesothelioma. Peritoneal mesothelioma is the second common type of mesothelioma, first being the pleura. Asbestos is the prime cause, by inhalation or ingestion. It is 20% of all mesotheliomas. It is very aggressive primary type with survival rate of 6 to 12 months. It is often difficult to diagnose, with presentation mimicking ovarian pathology or inflammatory bowel syndrome. Presentation is abdominal distension, commonest, abdominal pain, ascites, weight loss, and cachexia. Omentum is involved with malignant nodules presenting like a nodular abdominal mass. Peritoneal cavity is studded with nodular deposits. Entire peritoneal cavity is involved, often involving the organs like liver or their surfaces. It is often difficult to differentiate it from peritoneal carcinomatosis. However, extra-abdominal spreads to lungs and bone is uncommon in malignant mesothelioma. Histologically it can be epithelioid, 75%, better prognosis, sarcomatoid and biphasic. Staging is done through laparoscopy or laparotomy. Stage 1, localized disease without nodal spread. 2, localized with minimal nodal spread. 3, localized to one side of the body with involvement of nearby organs and nodes. IV, spread to both sides of body with distant spread. Peritoneal cancer, carcinomatosis index, PCI, Suga-Bakers, is used to assess the peritoneal mesothelioma based on 13 sectors with total score of 39. PCI scores of 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, and 31 to 39 correspond to T stages of 1, 2, 3, and 4, respectively. Stage 1 disease included T1N0M0, Stage 2 included T2-3N0M0, and Stage 3 included T4N0M0 and NEN-M positive disease. Investigation: CT abdomen, ascitic fluid analysis, laparoscopy are the diagnostic methods. Treatment: cytoreduction surgery, CRS, surgical peritonectomy, with hyperthermic intraperitoneal chemotherapy, HIPEC, using mitomycin C, intraperitoneal chemotherapy of cisplatin, early post-operative intraperitoneal chemotherapy, EPIC, are treatment options. Pseudomyxoma peritonei. It is a rare malignant condition that develops due to ruptured malignant ovarian cyst or adenocarcinoma of appendix. Peritoneum is coated with mucus-secreting tumor with tenacious gel-like mucus with cystic masses. It is common in old-aged females. Vague abdominal pain with distension and dullness which is not shifting the typical findings. CT scan shows bowel displacement with fluid content in the peritoneal cavity. Treatment: if origin is known, then it is treated accordingly. In patients operated by appendicectomy, removal of all mucus gel with right hemicolectomy with omentectomy is done. If ovarian tumor is the cause, then penhysterectomy with omentectomy is done. In cases with unknown cause, after laparotomy, penhysterectomy, right hemicolectomy, omentectomy are done. Intraperitoneal chemotherapeutic agents like 5-FU, mitomycin C, oxaliplatin, intraperitoneal instillation of mucolytic agents like dextran, urokinase after surgery is beneficial. It shows better prognosis compared to mesothelioma and carcinomatosis. Peritoneal carcinomatosis, carcinoma peritonei, XX. Entire peritoneal cavity is studded with carcinomatous nodules, both parietal and visceral peritoneum. XX. Hemorrhagic ascites, interloop bowel adhesions, hard-studded nodules in the omentum are common. Intestinal obstruction can occur. XX. It may be primary peritoneal carcinomatosis, mesothelial, or secondary from GIT, ovary, breast, pancreas. XX. Liver secondaries are often present. XX. It mimics peritoneal tuberculosis, acute pancreatitis, and multiple lymphomatous nodules, multiple peritoneal hydatids. XX. As malignant ascitic fluid contains high immunoglobulin, peritonitis is not common. XX. Installation of radioactive golden chemotherapy are the treatment. XX. It has got poor prognosis. OMENTAL cyst. It arises from obstruction of omental lymphatics, either congenital or acquired. It is an allocular or multilocular cyst lined by endothelium. It is common in children. When it attains large, it presents as mass in central or lower abdomen which is smooth, well localized, mobile, often moves with respiration. It can cause torsion, rupture and infection. Extrinsic compression of bowel can occur. US CT shows cyst with internal septations. Differential diagnoses are mesenteric cyst, retroperitoneal cyst and desmoid tumor. Treatment is laparotomy and cyst excision, which can also be done laparoscopically. OMENTAL torsion of greater omentum is twist of omentum along its longitudinal axis. It usually occurs on right side of omentum. Primary torsion is torsion occurring without any existing cause. Secondary torsion is occurring due to some cause like omentocellae in a hernial sac or tumor or adhesion. Torsion is more common in men, 1 in 5th decade. Sudden severe abdominal pain, mainly right-sided, often mimicking acute appendicitis, cholecystitis, ureteric stone or twisted ovarian cyst. Often signs of peritonitis may be present. CT abdomen is diagnostic. Total count will be raised. Treatment is laparotomy and omentectomy, which can also be done laparoscopically. OMENTAL tumor. Metastatic omental deposits are common, usually from GIT cancers. Primary neoplasm of omentum is rare. It may be soft tissue tumor arising from fat of omentum.